Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com, and you are here for a new Tuesday tip video, and this one is pretty darn awesome. We're going to be using the Stampin Blends to create the simplest little background. And you know what? This little idea kind of made for some really amazing cards too. We've got two cards to share with you today, one for the guys, one for the girls. Let's head over to the stamping table so I can teach you this really cool technique. I gotta tell you, after I created the cards, I kind of had a new tip to share. So I'm gonna share with you just a simple template that we can create using just some leftover chipboard. You guys probably have this laying around, maybe from behind some specialty paper or well, just about anything. I do prefer to have something a little bit thicker versus something thin like cardstock. And I'm going to teach you how to cut some templates for creating the cards. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and you're going to want a nice long piece versus having a short piece, because when we create these cards, we're going to do it at an angle. And I'm going to use this as a template as I create. So this one here, I created it 3/4 of an inch, and I don't know, that's probably about 8.5 inches or so. I'm going to create another one at 1/2 inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut through. Now you're going to see it's not going to cut all the way through. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to line it back up at 1/2 inch one more time, and I'll cut through the other half. And yep, there we go. Now we've got a great template. If you have any of these little, I'm going to just call them the little fuzzies, you can just pull those off. And you know what? I think I'm going to do myself one more at about 1/4 inch. Because I have to be honest, when you use this as a guide, your measurements are actually going to be just a touch bigger than this when we mark on both sides. All right, I now have 3 templates, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch. So for this card, I think I'm going to use the 1/2 inch. And I have a 3 3/4 by 5 inch of basic white. Now for this technique, we're going to be using Stampin Blends. So the Stampin Blends are going to be really important to this technique, but there's one Stampin Blend that's an absolute must-have, and that is going to be a dark basic black, because that's going to be our baseline. Now, if you wanted to do it in a different color, you can do that as well. I just love the nice dark color that the black gives, so I'm going to be using the fine tip. So the first mark I want to make, I'm going to put my template here, right here on the corner. I'm going to draw myself a line. That's simple enough. Now I'm going to use this template and I'm just going to line it up right there. Kind of hold on to your cardstock as well. And we'll draw another line. And we're going to just kind of keep going here. Now you may be thinking, oh, I really don't need to have that basic black Stampin' Blend. You know what? You actually do. What I found when I tried to use other things is that the ink started to smear on my little template here, especially if I tried to use a ruler. And that's why I really preferred to kind of make my own little template. But you see that the basic black, there's no smearing, especially when we bring in our Stampin' Blends. So because this is a fall color, I'm going to do some Cajun craze right here. I'm going to bring in my little template again, and I'm going to start with my dark. So now you see I'm going to put my little template here right on the other side of that black. And I'm just going to give myself a quick line. It doesn't need to be straight. It doesn't need to be perfect, because we're now going to come in. We're going to flip this around, and I'm going to put my template here on the opposite side, keeping me from hitting the other side of that black. And now I'm going to come in with the light, and you can see I can just blend these two colors together. We'll rotate the cardstock around. I'm going to line that up again, and I'm going to come in with my dark old olive. Just give yourself a nice line there. Rotate, line it up here on the other side. And it just, that little template just makes it super easy. I don't have any worries about hitting the next line. Next is some Blackberry Bliss. Now I come in with the light Blackberry Bliss. My last color is the Daffodil Delight. And then I have just this little corner, and I'll bring in one more little bit of the Cajun Craze. So for this card, you're going to need a card base. Mine is a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. You're going to need 3 pieces of Pretty Peacock. These are 4 by 5 1/4. And then we've already used the 1 piece of basic white. We're going to need another one, 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to come in with the Changing Leaves bundle. I just thought this giant leaf was so pretty. And check this out. You have a giant and a fantastic die that's going to die cut that. So we're going to begin with the giant leaf and the Pretty Peacock ink pad. So I am going to ink up my stamp. This is a larger stamp, so I do like to ink it this way. And you're going to stamp that right here in the middle of one of the Pretty Peacock. So now we can take our fantastic die. We'll lay that right here. I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. You'll need base plate 1, thin die adapter 2, cutting plate 3. Let me lay my die and my cardstock. We'll line that up. And now we're going to top it with another cutting plate 3. Let's run this through the machine. We've got a beautiful die cut leaf. Now I want to show you, this bundle actually also comes with an embossing folder. And did you know you could lay this leaf right inside the embossing folder, and you can have a stamped and embossed leaf. And to do that, you just need base plate 1 and embossing plate 4. We'll now run this through the machine. And check that out. Can you see the great embossing? Again, optional, but I think it looks really pretty. Now you guys know I love to use my layers, but unfortunately this one, it was not going to work. So for this, we'll bring in one of our second pieces of Pretty Peacock. All right, we'll adhere that onto that. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this sentiment, which also is in the Changing Leaves stamp set. And we'll stamp that right here. You are amazing in every single way. Now, for my leaves, I'm actually going to add those with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And you can see mine are going to kind of hang off. It looks like I went a little bit bigger, but you know, it's fine. It's not going to be a problem because when we add this to the card, we'll be able to trim that down. So I'm going to leave the Stampin' Dimensionals off of that leaf for now. Let's add dimensionals to my remaining leaves. You know, before I take those off, I can always lay my leaf back on here, make sure I know exactly where I want these to be. I'll now add my leaf to my card, and I'm just simply going to trim off what is hanging off right here. And because I don't want this stem loose, I'm actually just going to hit it with a dab of multi-purpose glue. And then we can adhere that down. You can see that's going to go right there on my card. See that leaf being cut off, it is not a problem. And I'll tell you what, friends, let me just show you what I've done here on the inside. I did the same little technique. Now this is where you would use that 1/4 of an inch strip, all right? So I added just a little bit more to the inside, and then I stamped. I couldn't have done it without you. So friends, that is the quick and easy way to create some amazing backgrounds simply using some scraps of some chipboard and your Stampin' Blends. Let me just go ahead and show you the other card. Just a quick reminder to grab your free download that goes along with today's video. Guys, this will have everything you need. You're going to have the measurements for the cards, photos, supply list, everything that you need. There's also a QR code. So if you need to come back and watch the video, maybe get that little refresher on the technique, you'll have that as well. Friends, you can get that free download at simplysimplestamping.com, or if you look down in the YouTube description, I have a direct link for you. Now, again, I got to tell you, I came up with this idea of using the chipboard after I created the card, but this one I did a little bit different. So let me just go ahead and show you the technique I did here. All right, let's get creative. We're going to create with 2 templates, all right? So I thought, you know, why not? Let's have some fun. I've got the 1/4 inch template, and I'm going to give myself a 1/4 inch mark with my basic black. Now I'm going to come in with the 1/2 inch, and I'll give myself a 1/2 inch line. And I'm just going to rotate these. I don't know. Let's see what we get. Like I said, I just sometimes want to get a little creative. Kind of not sure what I'm going to get here, but I do like having a little white space in between. So you've got those 3 templates. In fact, you could even go with a 1 inch, but honestly, I think this tends to be about the right size, either 1/4, 3/4, or let's see, did I say that? Or 1/2 inch and 3/4 or 1/4 inch. So yeah, we're just going to kind of go back and forth here. So for this card, it's Melon Mambo and Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm going to do this technique just a little bit different. So let's bring in, oh, you know what? Let's go bold. Let's not even use the template. So I'm going to put a strip of the dark Melon Mambo. Just as long as I only hit that black edge, I'm fine. This is the other reason you don't want to use any kind of marker like a Sharpie or something like that, because we don't want our Stampin' Blends to pick up that type of marker. I'm now coming in with the light Melon Mambo, and by the way, I can see it is about time to replace my light Melon Mambo. I'll come in now with the dark Lemon Lime Twist, and you see I'm hitting that light Melon Mambo because it's going to kind of blend those colors together. And now with the light, oh, I better turn here because I want to stay right next to that line. And now I can blend my light Lemon Lime Twist. All right, let's see what we have. Yeah, do you see how we kind of get a nice little blend? Now, for our next one, we're going to skip this 1/4 inch, and we'll repeat that right here. You know what? I'm just not feeling it. I'm going to put a little template there. So, yeah, I feel like I can also go a little bit faster. So you're going to repeat this same thing. In fact, you know what? I can even just use that template again to kind of blend these together. That way you can see I can just kind of overlap just a little bit. Yeah, I actually think I like that too. You know, it's all about the technique that you feel works best for you, but I think I'm kind of liking it like this. Yep, definitely goes faster. Oops, got a little string there. Remember I told you about those. You might get those little edges, and I can see that I have a little bit of a harsh line, so I can just come back in and just kind of blend those together. And now I get my Lemon Lime Twist, and I can come and hit that Melon Mambo and let that kind of bleed together. So just another option, you can leave some white space, so use your little templates in a really fun way. So let me go ahead and bring in my card. You can see it really is all about your creativity and what you want to do here. In fact, if you wanted to add some little squiggles or dots in between these white lines, get creative. So here on my card, I created a zinnia using the Simply Zinnia dies, and then I stamped using the Friends for Life stamp set. I just thought it looked really cute. Added some jewel rhinestones. There's the inside of the card. Guys, I'm telling you, this technique, all right, friends, there we go. I hope that you enjoyed this fun technique. It really is great. And hey, we're just upcycling some of that chipboard that we might have laying around. You'll be able to use these templates over and over and over again, all right? So much better than a ruler because you're not going to have any of that ink trying to stick to your ruler. And as you're sliding up and down your lines, there's not going to be any smearing. So this is definitely the way to go. Guys, have fun creating with those Stampin' Blends and creating some incredible backgrounds to your cards. I hope that you enjoyed that technique. It really is a lot of fun, and I hope that you'll give it a try. Friends, if you like the video, would you give me that little thumbs up on YouTube? That is always appreciated. And if you have not subscribed, guys, it's easy, it's free. Click the subscribe button, ring that bell, and then YouTube will let you know whenever I am back with another video. I share twice a week here on the channel, and I'd love to have you join. That's it for me, everybody. I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.